Hi everyone. Hi, here I am again on part 3. And I'm on part 3 here because I did part 1 and 2 and they're done. Part 1 and 2 is supposed to be only one part, but somehow I turned it off in the middle and I had to start it up again. So I added some more to the flowers and I added some more to the leaves. And then I also had made this rope some time ago, twisted fabric rope. And so I used some of that and then I couched it on around. And I've got that on there. And then, but I wanted to tell y'all, I started telling you when I was, got messed up or whatever. I was telling you about this Facebook group that I go to. It's called Creating Art on Fabric. That's what it's called, Creating Art on Fabric. And so if you go to that Facebook group, oh my gosh, what you see is eye candy. So many people have posted up art projects that they've done on fabric. And oh, I just love looking at it. One of my favorite ladies that does the that is part of the group. Her name is Sarah Jane Dawson. Sarah Jane, SarahJane, all one word, one name, Sarah Jane. Isn't that pretty? Dawson, Dawson. So if you kind of put that in the search when you get to Creating Art on Fabric, then you can. She's like, she does the style that I really like, which I like everything. But I really love her style. I just look at her stuff over and over and over again. Thank you, Papa. Oh, so they did have that.
What?
This. I didn't know that they'd have that already. Okay. Papa just had his medication delivered. We just are so happy about delivery. I'm telling you, what would we do without delivery? Okay, now, here I've got different. Oh, I've got different yarns. This here is a really, I'm not sure what this one is called, but it is so pretty. It's like gold. It's like flat, but it's beautiful. And so I want to see what it looks like if I make a flower out of this yarn. So I want to make a flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bit of this yarn and I'm just going to make a wrap it around my fingers a few times. And then I'm going to, there, just cut that right like that. So that's a wrap of about 2.5 inches there. Now that's going to be my flower. So I'm going to put my flower up here somewhere. Well, maybe I'm going to put it right up here. That's where my flower is going to be. So then I need my needle. I really need my needle. Oh, there we go. Here. Now I have, well, this has got green thread on it, but that's all right. I'm going to just take that. See how I have the loops of about 2.5 inches right there. And then right in the center of that, then I'm going to, the same way I did this over here. And I'm just going to, sometimes I forget to put a knot right there in the end of my string, and that's not good. I need a knot. Okay, so I'm going to, now that it's knotted, I'm going to just put a couple of stitches. It's kind of like couching again. By doing couching is just amazing what you can come up with. Different things that you can do on your, I'm going to do some things on here that are not couching, but okay, see, so now I got that center on there. Then I'm going to flip this bottom part up And then I'm going to couch some more now. And I'm making the bud of that flower. I love this yarn. It's pretty, it's soft, and it's there's so many different kind of yarns, and the yarn additives, I guess they call them, that the special yarns that you actually use with a regular yarn when you're making something special. But all of those additives like that, oh my gosh. Now see how that looks? How that looks like such a pretty flower. That one loop got a little bit big. I'm going to cut that little bit loop. We got everything perfect. We want everything perfect, right? And so that's one flower. And then we have, let's see, then I want to make another one. Usually if I make something, I have to have them at least in threes, you know. But yeah, not always. So I'm going to do that same thing here. Wrap it a few times. And there we go. And then we'll put another flower right next to that one. Oh, I got my knot in that time. And then I'm going to just right in the center of them loops. I'll go ahead and get that a little bit there we go. We'll get that in the center of it. And sometimes it's kind of hard to get that needle through. Okay, so we got that. You could even just leave it like this and it'd be pretty, but I'm going to take that and I'm going to flip that bottom half up. And then I'm going to stitch around. Just to kind of tighten them so they're all the loops are pointing upward. Because this is on a kind of a heavyweight placemat, sometimes my needle wants to go through the placemat and gets a little hard, but I try to keep it just in the silk scarf that I've got stitched on there. There is so much you can do. Well, my needle came out of there. My thread came out of my needle hole. Isn't that horrible when that happens? I probably got it on there tight enough. You know, I do. It's on there tight enough. I'm just going to snip that string. So there I have two. This one I made it smaller. So look at that. That one looks completely different than this one. You know what I think I want to do on this one? I think I'm going to snip that one short and see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. That's better. Look how pretty that is. And see, so when you're doing something like this, I just kind of, I don't ever go by a direction. I don't I just go with whatever I see that looks like maybe it'll work. That looks at maybe this will work, or maybe that will work. Maybe something. But I love using this sari silk scraps. I mean, and these are really, really scraps of sari silks. And then, just to think of what you want to do. Just what do you want to do with that? And so, you know what would be neat with this, if I take this, okay, I gotta get me some more thread here now. Get me some more thread. I won't keep you too long here because this here whole project is just, you know, it takes up a lot of time, but it gives me something, gives me a feeling of accomplishment, and it doesn't have to be like perfect at all. And get under the light here. See that eye of the needle. Okay, so now see, as you're working, you know, just do whatever your, you know, your mind. I'm gonna go down here. Just wherever your mind takes you, wherever your heart takes you, it'll decide. Your heart will decide where things should go and how they should go. And you don't have to have a pattern. You don't have to go by a drawing. You don't have to go by a blueprint. None of that. None of that. Okay, I'm going to twist that right there in the middle. And then I'm going to take that middle and I'm going to stitch. Get that in the middle. Just get that tied down in the middle. So that's tight on there. Okay, and then now I've got that cinched in the middle, but now I'm going to twist. I'm going to twist this so it's like twisted, like almost like a rope. And then I'm going to just hold it there with my thumb, and then I'm going to couch it, couching it all the way up to the butt of that flower. Get it all the way up till it meets that flower I just put there. Okay, that's enough. I'll go ahead and tie a little knot. And then I'll snip that right there. Now I'm going to do the other side the same way. So it's like a V. So now here I'm gonna, yeah, I got threads hanging all over. I'm just gonna cut the threads. Just there we go. You know, the raggedy of these scraps. I mean, there's threads, but you know, I think those threads are part of what makes the beauty of it, makes the artistic look of it. And I used to not let myself call myself creating art because I thought, no, that's for the perfection people. But then after I get looking at some of the beautiful art that people have come up with tapestries, or I mean textiles. Tapestries, oh my gosh, I could never do them. But I shouldn't say never. I probably could if I tried. But I don't, that's not what I want to do. I want to do textile art. And when I look at other people's art that I call artists, then I say, wow, I can do that. I can do that perfectly. And so, yeah, it's you're an artist if you can put something together. I'm not kidding. If you can color a picture in a coloring book, you're an artist. And so You let yourself call yourself an artist. I had a lot of people tell me to let myself be an artist, and so now I finally decided I'm letting myself be an artist. There we go. Now see here. Now I have those two stems that just went up to those two flowers. Now I want to snip this off a little bit at the top, but not completely. I'm going to leave it a little bit going on up there, see? And see, is that pretty or what? I think that's beautiful. I just think it's just beautiful. So I made the flowers out of this yarn, those two flowers, and then using just a piece of this here, shaggedy, raggedy, sorry silk, and see, I got now those two little pieces there. That's going to make something pretty right there. Even with those shaggy edges, it's still going to be something pretty. I ain't throwing that away. But I'm not going to keep you for long this time. See, like here on this black, I might want to put some color there. I might want to put a little bit color on that black. So you never know. I might just want good night noise. I do want to do that. I want to put just, I'm going to just sew that right on that black because that's what I want to do. Scissor, would you hold that there for me while I get my knot tied in my string? See, and like I say, no plan. Do not have a plan. Just start stitching stuff. Don't think about it. Just don't even think about it. Whatever you have is going to work. Just whatever you have is going to work. There we go. See? So I'll get that stitched on there, just like that. And you know, if you're walking through the forest and through the rainforest and whatever, you see different kind of flowers, and they're all different. They're all different, and it's all beautiful. Now, some people call wildflowers weeds, and they look at weeds as like a bad thing. Well, no, these flowers, and these beautiful. There we go. Now look at that. You can't get any more beautiful than that. See, so now I put that on there. Maybe I'll just trim just a little so it'll fluff. And there you go. I put that on top of that black. And see, that black around there really made that pop thin. And that's really, 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 really pretty. I love it. I just love it. And so anyhow, that's my placemat so far. I don't know what it'll be later on, if it'll still be a placemat. Well, I couldn't put a plate on here, probably. I'd spill soup. I don't want to spill soup on it, you know. But, and who knows? I might just fold that in half, and I may still use this as one of my memory wraps. I might just do that. This might be a memory wrap on steroids. Or maybe it's drunk. I don't know. But I think it's beautiful. If I don't go any further with it, I think it's beautiful. But I am going to go further with it because I like this purple in here. And so I might want to get some more purple of some kind, like up here somewhere. Something. I know I have more of this purple sari ribbon that I got from my friend Carmen. I know I got more of that, and so I might use some of that, and I might make flowers out of that. And so, because now that I'm going with the flower theme, and I didn't plan that at the beginning, but since I have flowers going on, and just to rub them, just feels good. Just feels really, really, really good. And so And that's what I like. I might put some beads or some stamens. I got stamens too that I could use. Do I have them right here? I'll have to find them. No, I don't have them right there. But I got some stamens I could actually put in these flowers too that were sent to me by a beautiful subscriber friend. And but they're just so pretty, just so pretty. Something else I might go on that heart there, and you just never know. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up, and then I'm gonna find something here. I read that already. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a short. We'll find a short story. Here's encouraging words. We always need encouraging words. Okay, and remember, crafting art on, no, creating art on fabric. I'll see if I can put a link under this video. It's a Facebook group, but oh, is it beautiful. And like I say, Sarah Jane Dawson, she is, now I haven't seen everybody's art on there yet, but I'm going to keep looking till I see everybody's. But I really love her, Sarah Jane Dawson. Oh my gosh, that is my style. She's my style of artist. Okay, so we're going to see what these encouraging words are. I believe we are free within limits, and yet there is unseen hand, a guiding angel that somehow, like a submerged propeller, drives us on. That was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Oh, by the way, this is Chicken Soup for the Soul, Angels Among Us. Okay, encouraging words. I saw her. I talked to her. I put antifreeze in her car. For heaven's sake, it must have indeed been for heaven's sake the day our pastor encountered her. Pastor B, as we have called him for years, is one of the most down-to-earth, realistic, and reliable men in all of St. Louis. He tells us something, we believe it, which is why we had to believe that his angel story was true. He, his wife, and their 2 daughters were on a long drive back east for Christmas. They had pulled off the interstate to fill up with gas, and the family had gone into the convenience mart to purchase snacks while Pastor B was left out in the falling snow to service the car. I remember trips. I loved the stops for snacks. That was the funnest part of a trip. As he walked to the front to scrape the windshield, he saw an older car at the next pump with the hood up. Noticing it was an elderly woman, he walked over to see if she needed help. She told him she was trying to find the place to pour in the windshield wiper fluid. And of course, Pastor B had a supply in his own car and had her ready to leave in no time. This elderly gray-haired lady had no way of knowing our pastor was going through a tough time and had an important decision to make. He had shared with us many times how he needed prayer just to get the clear go-ahead or not from God. Being man of wisdom and discernment, he never made a split-second reckless decision about anything, much less about our potential $1 million expansion program to reach thousands of needy folks in the community. As he closed the hood for her, he headed back to his own car to put the half-full container of windshield fluid away. The snow was now really coming down, and he was totally unprepared for what happened. With the strength of man, the old woman whirled him back around and gripped him squarely by the shoulders, drawing him to her face to face, with steel eyes looking straight into his soul. She slowly and simply said, "Get ready for God has ready for you." Get ready for what God has ready for you. Taking this perhaps as a sign, Pastor B said, "Would you wait here just a second while I get my wife so she can hear that too?" He turned to run to the mart to get his wife and daughters, but they were already coming out the door. "Girls, come here. I want you to hear this lady." In a split second, he turned around to point out the sweet elderly lady that he just helped, but was simultaneously hearing from his family, "What lady, Dad? Are you okay?" Not only was there no lady, there was no car. There was no tire tracks in the fresh snow leading out to the interstate. There was no other cars at all. Pastor B, still holding the half-filled wiper fluid jug, ran over to see if there was a wet place where he had poured it into her car, and looked closely again for any sign of tire tracks. Nothing. Pastor B said he had always thought he would know an angel if he saw one. Now he wasn't sure what he saw. However, he was very sure of what he heard, and he thanked God right then, right there, with his family wondering if his brain had frozen. Several months later, the expansion nearing completion, over 2,000 members of all ages, races, and backgrounds came together in the two Sunday morning services. We too have learned to live in great expectations where angels can appear at any time, any place, and the least experienced way. And that was written by Dr. Deborah Peppers. And yes, the angels will show up in the most unexpected ways, almost expected times, the unexpected ways they're going to show up. Okay, now I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make, and start stitching. Just start stitching. Don't don't overthink it. Don't overplan it. Just take whatever you have. Like this started with them scarves, and I really thought that's all I was going to do is just put them scarves on them. But it's kind of gone further than just the scarves. And it's going to go further yet. I really like these gold flowers. Really like this yarn. And so I think I'm going to end up using a lot of that. I think I'm going to get more of that in there. And I do want to get some purple. I bet if I put the purple and gold together, that would be pretty too. Okay, then I'm going to ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make, and bring you back to the next video, safe and sound, happy and healthy and humble. And please have a good, if I don't see you before, have a good weekend. But you never know about me. Sometimes I show up 3 or 4 times in a day, and other times I might be 3 or 4 weeks before I show up. And so I just show up. It's just at the weirdest times. Okay, God bless and keep you all. And be good and be smiley. Just keep smiling no matter what. Just smile. Okay, God bless.